always start a fight. Oh, what do you say, Patrick? I didn't see you standing there.
Billy, what are you doing in town? This isn't payday for Tundle's crew.
No, just passing through on the way to Tundle's line camp.
Oh?
Hey, let's get that drink, kid. Charlie, look at that, will you? Now, that's something a man can walk mighty proud in.
You've been riding in the moonlight too much, Billy.
A town like this, ain't nobody can afford a pair of $40 boots.
Except Billy, if he had it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you something, Patrick. If I wasn't such an honest man, I'd sure be thinking mean about them boots.
Why don't you save your money and buy them boots?
Yeah, with 2 months' wages. There's only one way you'll ever own them boots. Yeah, what do you got on your mind, Charlie?
Forget it, Charlie. You and Billy are working cowhands now.
No, don't get riled up, Patrick. We're all friends around here, ain't we? Well, Charlie just trying to get a rise out of you.
Trouble is, a man starts thinking wrong, the first thing you know, he's doing wrong.
Oh, Patrick, poor man, ain't been a deputy long. You sure got religion, boy.
No. Just trying to head off trouble. You've got a good job with Tundle. Work at it.
And I don't like people telling me what to do.
Maybe I don't like telling you, Billy, but I'm doing it just the same.
All right. I'll give it some thought.
Be sure you do that.
Man, walk high in those boots, Charlie. Look at them shine, boy. Dancing boots, that's what I call them, Charlie. I know a man at Missoula. You do? What makes him special? He buys cattle. He got bad eyes, too. Can't read a brand at 2 feet. Wouldn't care much if he could. Remember all them lonesome cows we passed riding in? Maybe we ought to introduce him to that friend of mine. A couple of days' work, you'd own them boots, kid. A pair of silver spurs to put on them. That's what I like about you, Charlie. You sound just like a jingle of money. Come on, we got some stuff to pick up for Mr. Tundle. Come on.
You should have seen the look on your face.
He needs another beer. You buy it.
So you're Sheriff Brady's new deputy. Well, I work for Andy Gorman.
Buy the man a beer. Buy the man a beer.
No sense at all, Oranger. Wasn't much trouble burying you. I'd have shot a lot closer. Oh, I was only trying to have a little fun. Well, you had it. Now get out of town. Oh, I tell you now, Brady, Andy Gorman won't like him. He won't last very long. Lenny?
Take it as a man who thinks you made a bad mistake hiring me as your deputy.
If you wore a halo for a hat, there'd be some who'd say the same. Andy Gorman will be one of them.
I've heard a lot about him. It's time I met him.
He's a big man around here, Pat. I hope you won't tangle with him.
You didn't ask many questions when you gave me this job.
I'm not fussy about a man's past. Just the same, I made it a point to find out as much about you as I could.
Did you find something that bothers you?
No. Only black mark against you is your friend, Billy the Kid.
He's still my friend.
I knew that when I hired you.
And what's the problem?
Well, sometimes a man must make compromises. But I've got a hunch you won't.
Maybe I've never found a good enough reason.
Well, we'll see.
Hi.
Hey, Pat. Here's your first month's pay. I hear you had a lively time last night. 3 new customers in the pokey.
Not much for Saturday night.
I guess it depends on your point of view. How do you like being a lawman?
Well, it's easier than rustling cows for a buck. Less chance of a hanging, too.
The town council meeting last night, motion was passed to give you a raise.
Yeah.
That is, if you decide to stay permanently.
Drifting can get to be sort of a habit. But I always figured I'd know when the time came to put down some roots.
Well, I guess you know that doesn't make me mad.
And I've got no complaints. In some ways, this is a lazy man's job, and I admit the charge. Keep the drunks below the deadline, make sure they don't wear any guns on Sunday, head off trouble when you see it coming. No different from riding herd. Except some cows are smarter than some cowpokes I've known.
Oh, if you're not too sleepy, I'd like to ask a favor. I know you had a rough night, but my wife's been pestering me about taking her to church, and,
Well, I was figuring on loafing, but I might as well earn my money while I'm at it.
I'll take over before noon.
Sunday.
All right, it's Sunday. I didn't ride in to go to church.
I didn't think you had. To save you trouble, I'll take your guns now.
Lenny, pick up the stuff. Don't bother me, cowboy.
No bother. You don't wear a gun on the street on Sunday.
I'll take care of it, boss. There's nothing to take care of. I'm Andy Gorman.
Look, it's Sunday. The town is quiet. I like it that way. You'll get your guns back when you're right out of town. It's simple.
Almost as simple as you are. If you think that tin badge you're wearing makes you something special, you tell Brady I don't think his joke is funny.
Gorman. I told you I didn't like a fuss on Sundays.
One of you people, go get Sheriff Brady.
It seems to me you're old enough to have better sense. You're under arrest.
What's the matter with you, Pat? Haven't you got good sense? Locking up Andy Gorman.
Are you turning loose?
Well, of course I am.
Without even bothering to find out why I threw him in the pokey?
All right. Why?
It doesn't matter. My fault for not knowing that some men would be privileged.
Now, you know better than that.
You're turning him loose, aren't you?
Well, I've got to.
Gorman is a privileged man. You should make out a list for your deputies, naming the rules and the men who can break them. Like packing a gun on Sunday doesn't apply to Gorman. Most important would be the names of the men licensed to kill.
No, you listen to me, Pat
That
Garrett.
is one rule I do not have to obey. You know, the law always meant a lot to me, even when I broke it. I always figured it worked the same for everybody. I was wrong.
Pat. Put your badge back on, Pat. You just reminded me of something I've almost forgotten. I guess you'd call it a man's duty. Better get started on that loafing.
You look like you got a bad case of the regrets, sir.
Well, it isn't that. Gorman paid his fine. It's the first time in 40 years he's been bitten by the law. He doesn't like it.
Get the horses. You've shown me where you stand, Brady.
You can take it that way, if you want to.
I rode into Lincoln today to see you, Brady. Too many of my cattle have been missing lately. As far as I'm concerned, it's because of Tundle and that outlaw crew of his, including Billy the Kid. A few years ago, I knew what to do, and I did it. Guess times haven't changed as much as I thought.
I never knew paying a little fine to rattle a man so much.
He intends to smash Lincoln County, every man who stands against him. Put the pieces in his pocket. When he makes this try, this country is going to explode like a $2 pistol.
Funny thing about trouble. The more you worry about it, bigger it gets. You really think he meant all that talk about Tundle, I mean?
Another excuse for Gorman. He thought he could ride roughshod over Tundle. Found out different. He won't be fussy about proof. You sure about Billy, Pat? I mean, going straight?
Well, I'm never sure about Billy. Only way to find out if Gorman is right is to catch those rustlers first.
That would help. It'd put it off that much longer. You sure that you want to find out?
I'm sure. Either way.
Good luck, Pat.
Thanks.
Up here. Not since you turned honest. I'll talk with you, Charlie. How you been? Sound. Saw Pat. Still wearing a badge. Yeah. On him, it looks all right, huh? Might look pretty good to me if I get caught. Pat couldn't hang an old pal.
You think not?
You mean being friends don't mean nothing to Pat? Means more to him than does to you and me, Charlie. He's just different. He's honest. It's hard for guys like you and me to understand, right? Maybe you'd like me to pull out of the county to avoid stepping on Garrett's toes. That's why I rode up here. See you around, Charlie. Now, look, Billy. We've been friends a long time, but that doesn't give you leave to run my business. Seems to me you've been doing all right with your business, Charlie. I counted better than 50 head of cows back up the draw. And I was glad to see that none of them were Mr. Tundle's. What would you have done if they were carrying Tundle's brand? I'd have waited here to hang you. You mean that, don't you, kid? Sometimes I think you and Garrett are too much alike. But I'm glad you come up here. I was going to look you up anyhow. I got your present. You're not much of a fellow to do something for nothing, Charlie. What do you figure these boots are worth to you?
Not a thing. Maybe I'm just hoping they might help to make you change your mind.
Well, in that case, you just wasted your money, Charlie. Unless your feet are shrunk since the last time I saw you.
It won't fit me. I owe you more than a pair of boots, kid.
I think you mean that, Charlie.
Never meant anything any more in my life. Try 'em on, kid. Maybe you're right. My hanging around here is bound to bring trouble sooner or later. Not with you over Tundall's beef and with Pat. Trouble is, I need a stake to travel on. And 50 head of cows will give it to me. But it takes more than one man to drive.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Charlie. Wait a minute. I had the idea there are going to be no strings tied to these boots.
And I meant it, kid. Look, it ain't like you were stealing them. Just give me a hand getting them on the move out of these hills. I'll take them the rest of the way alone. Oh, just that much for old time's sake. We've been pals.
Yeah, we've been pals. I knew them were dancing boots, Charlie. I knew it, boy. All right. I'll tell you what, you give me your word. You clear out when you get rid of that bunch of cows, all right?
I never lied to a pal, Billy. I'll give you my word.
Got your gun, kid. You heard me, Billy.
That's one way to make friends.
I told you it was Garrett's pal, Billy. They've both been working for Tundall.
I want both your names.
For what, grave markers?
I don't make markers for rustlers, but I keep a record of the names of the men I hang. I want to face Tundall with them. Save something to be hanged.
Drag the other one over to that tree. I'll take care of this one.
I'm going to kill you, Oranger.
Oranger! I said leave him alone.
I'll get the ropes.
I know they call you Billy the Kid. What's your real name?
My name is William H. Bonney. You better remember that, Corman. Because we're going to meet up again sometime.
What's his name?
His name is Evers. And Tundall didn't have anything to do with this, Corman. Charlie quit better than a week ago.
All right, Oranger. Hang him.
You can watch your partner swing first, Billy. Billy, it's your turn now. That's enough. You didn't waste much time, did you?
I don't intend to waste any now. Hang him, Oranger.
He's my prisoner. You try to hang him, Orange, I'll put a bullet through your head. There's nothing I can do about the one you've already hanged. Range law says you've got that right. The range law doesn't figure if a man's under legal arrest. And he is.
They were rustling my cattle. I caught them in the act.
Aye, then you can charge Billy here with rustling. Just be sure you're right. There's been only one man camped here. You'll have to prove it was Billy and not Charlie Evers.
You keep pushing, don't you, Garrett? You know I can't prove it in court.
I get paid to do my job. Right now, it's arresting Billy here for trying to steal some of your cows, if you say so. You'll have to prove it.
Don't make me laugh. It won't work, Garrett. You used to be the kid's sidekick. Looks like you still are from the way you're acting. Maybe you've been...
Don't say it, Gorman. Cut him loose, Orange. Billy! Billy!
What do you say about that charge of cow stealing, Gorman?
There'll be another time. Pick 'em up.
Cut him down, Billy. We'll bury him before we ride into town.
I'm sorry, Patrick. About Charlie, I mean.
You're always sorry, Billy. Well, it's too late.
I didn't steal those cows.
Keep shoveling.
I'll give you my word. If there been anything. Just hung around here too long, that's all. When I get back, I'm going to clear out.
Running away won't help.
Won't be your problem, anyway. Just got one more thing to do. That's a promise.
To kill Gorman? No, Billy, you're going to stay on at Tundle's ranch and keep trying.
You're not telling me what to do, are you, Patrick?
You'll do it. I believe you, Billy, about those cows.
All right. All right, I'll try it. But you know, I keep thinking about the time when I won't feel this way anymore.
That has to be up to you, Billy.
Maybe I had something to do with this. I don't know. Maybe I could have talked you out of it, Charlie. But I sure like them boots, boy.
Evening, Sheriff. What's your supper?
Oh, it's thoughtful of you, Pat. I'm not very hungry for some reason.
Election nerves, eh?
No.
Retained Sheriff John R. Brady, Lincoln County's finest lawman. Well, the big day's tomorrow. If it were just Bob Oranger, you wouldn't have much to worry about.
No. It's a man behind him that's causing the worry.
Andy Gorman, one of the few men I could never figure out.
Well, it isn't hard to do. Just hard to believe. Gorman came here before the rest of us. He feels that makes this whole county his personal property. Someday he'll make a real grab for it. There'll be a war in Lincoln County. It'll go into the history books.
Not as long as you're sheriff.
Well, at least I've tried. Alone. Till you rode in, Pat. You know, you taught me something. A man can fight just as hard for something he believes in as he can for personal gain.
Well, you taught me a few things, too.
Well, now, I'll take this food up to that vagrant I locked up. I'll eat with you later.
Anybody I know?
I doubt it. I haven't seen him before. He struck me wrong. He tried to start a fight down at Murphy's saloon. Funny thing is, he didn't show any fight when I marched him off to the pokey. We can turn him loose in the morning. Just make sure he gets out of town. Face doesn't match any of the Dodgers.
Looks like Orange are winning that election after all.
I'll get a doctor.
No. Oh. Listen to me, Pat. There's no chance. I'm all smashed inside.
No.
I said Gorman would stop at nothing. This was a setup.
Don't try to talk.
I've got to, Pat. This is my county. I've tried to keep it clean. I've tried hard.
You've done all any man could do.
You'll keep right on trying. I know that, Pat. Man who wears a star has a lonely job.
Terrible thing to happen the night before election. I didn't mean that the way it sounds. You know, Brady was my best friend.
Yeah, I know that, Mayor Baldwin.
I just come from a special meeting of the town council. You identified the man who killed him?
It was someone they brought in especially for the job.
You sure of that? I mean that somebody hired him.
I'm sure of it, yeah. It was set up like clockwork. They suckered Brady into putting him in jail. They passed him a shotgun. Opening the door of his own jail was the one time they could count on Brady being caught off guard.
The only thing they didn't plan on was your being here. If you hadn't killed him.
I did.
I'm sorry. I don't like second guesses either. The council was unanimous that your name replaced Brady's on the ballot. If you'll accept.
I accept.
Well, it isn't going to be very easy. There isn't much time left. The polling place is open in an hour. And with Gorman backing Oranger, spending so much money...
If you mean I haven't got much of a chance, I know it.
I was afraid maybe you wouldn't accept the council's offer, you knowing the circumstances.
I owe it to Brady to try.
I'll help all I can, Garrett. I'll send riders to cover the county and notify every town of what's happened. For the sake of the decent people in this territory, I hope you win. right, men. You just listen a minute. You all know that Sheriff Brady was killed last night. And I want to announce that by decision of the council, Pat Garrett's name has been placed in nomination.
Just a minute. You mean Pat Garrett is running against Oranger for sheriff?
I'll let him tell you that himself.
Maybe you have an objection, Gorman.
Well, if he doesn't, I have.
I never try to stop a man from making a fool of himself. You interfered with my plans once before, Garrett. Don't do it twice.
I'll bear that in mind.
Look, Pat, it isn't fair shouldering the troubles of this whole county off onto you.
I asked for it.
There's trouble, Sheriff.
Gorman?
Yeah, some settlers tried to vote, but Gorman stopped them.
All right, Trevor. He did.
Get out of here. And that goes for all the rest of you. Any more of you sodbusters feel like voting?
Try me, Oranger. These are the best odds you'll ever get, Oranger. I'll lay you 10 to 5. I can put 2 slugs in your belly before you can raise that gun and pull the trigger. Make up your mind.
Not while you're wearing that badge, Garrett.
You interfering with the voting, Gorman?
You know better than that. I use the law. I always have. The law guarantees Oranger the right to challenge any vote.
Yeah, the county law you like to quote so much. Says you got to be a resident for 6 months before you can vote.
Can you prove they haven't been here that long?
It's up to them once they're challenged to prove they have. They'll have their chance in front of Judge Colbert tomorrow.
The election's today.
So it is. Judge Colbert's out of town. He won't be back until tomorrow. It takes a territorial judge to make a ruling.
He can make his ruling when he returns tomorrow. These men vote today. Go ahead. Go on, nobody will stop you. Just make sure you've been here at least 6 months. How much does a territorial judge cost, Gorman?
Less than a county sheriff.
Or his killer?
I've had enough from you, Garrett. You want me to listen, you talk plain.
The man who shot Brady had 10 $20 gold pieces on him.
And you think he got them from me? Will you try and prove that, Garrett?
I intend to. Take off your hats.
As long as you wear that badge, you can give the orders. That won't be long. As soon as the votes are counted, you'll be through as a lawman, Garrett. So enjoy it while you can.
I carried a gun long before I ever wore a star. In those days, I knew what I had to do when a friend of mine was murdered. I was going to kill you last night, Gorman. The only thing that stopped me was this badge I'm wearing. 10 minutes after I take it off, I'll come looking for you.
You reckon he means that, boss?
He means it.
know how you felt about Brady, Patrick. I'm sorry.
Thanks, Billy.
You tell you're running for sheriff. You know, I wish you luck.
Thanks again.
You can count on my vote, boy. Maybe even twice.
You're not 21.
Oh, you gonna let a little technicality like that bother you?
I'm afraid I would, Billy.
I had a hunch you might. Reckon you know Gorman paid the man that killed Brady.
Can you prove that?
I can't prove that no more than you can. Stands to reason. You stopped me from killing Gorman once. I kind of figure you're going to have to kill Gorman yourself now. Unless I take care of it for you.
I'll do my own killing, if the time comes.
I kind of figured that, too. Patrick? Can I walk with you?
I don't mind.
I guess you know this election's all rigged, don't you? You might stand a chance, except that Gorman's going to run off any sure votes for you. Most honest men scare easy.
Not most, just some.
You're pretty close anyway. I figure 100 votes will swing it your way.
Make it plain, Billy.
Well, I mean, I just know 100 men that'd vote for you. Gorman wouldn't scare them off.
What men?
Friends of mine. Used to be friends of yours, too, Patrick. I know they'd get a fair shake from you, and that's all they'd ask.
What men, Billy?
Dave Rudebaugh, Charlie Bodger, Tom O'Foley.
Outlaws, every one of them.
Yeah, you might call them that. Like I said, all they'd expect from the new sheriff of Lincoln County is a fair shake. Every one of them know you, Patrick.
I'm sorry, Billy. I know you're trying to help, but it just doesn't work that way.
Well, it does for Gorman. Sheriff Brady over there could have told you that.
No, Billy, it won't work. At least not for me. I didn't make the rules, but I'll finish this game by them. If any of your friends show up and try to vote, they'll spend time in the pokey.
I knew the time when Pat Garrett wouldn't let the killing of a friend pass by. The times change, don't they, Patrick?
Billy!
There's nothing left to talk about.
Maybe not, I don't know. Look, Billy, you've asked me to side with you before, now it's my turn. I'm asking you to play this through my way.
How far through?
All the way through, even if it means riding out together and not coming back.
All right. Kind of had me going there for a minute, boy.
You should know what you're getting into. Gorman will have Oranger and another man with him.
I figure the odds are just about dead even, Patrick. I said one time I was going to kill Oranger. I guess today just about as good a time as any.
Let's go look at the election returns.
Here you are, Mayor. Well, thank you. Here are the first returns from the town of Lincoln. 167 for Pat Garrett. 211 for Bob Oranger.
You're in.
That's all. Stay right there.
Boys, here's to the new sheriff of Lincoln County. Me.
You may not live long enough to pin on the badge. You had a gun on him this afternoon. What kept you from settling it then? Well, time wasn't right. Never is with a man like Garrett. You have to take your chance. I'm not afraid of Garrett. But I'm not killing him while he's wearing that badge. It's as good an excuse as any. All right. I've seen Garrett shoot. The only man in New Mexico who can match him is Billy the Kid. Look, I've waited too long for this chance. Garrett was only talking. He has nothing on us. For Brady's murder, I mean. I wonder if he needs anything.
This is the final count, Mayor.
Well, thank you. They finished counting the Lincoln ballots. The final ballot in the town of Lincoln is 231 for Pat Garrett, $260 for Bob Oranger.
The drinks are on your new sheriff, boys. Come and get him. I hope you're a good loser, Garrett.
You stand to lose more than I do, Gorman.
Set him up.
Sorry, Pat. But it may not be over. Fort Stanton and Tularosa could swing it back to you.
That isn't likely. But my work is cut out for me, win or lose.
What if you're wrong, Garrett? What if I didn't hire the man who killed Brady?
I'm not wrong.
I've got 2 men with me. I can get more. You gonna face us alone?
Mr. Gorman? You ain't alone.
I suppose Billy was a friend of Brady's, too.
Billy's a friend of mine.
There's a boat from Fort Stanton. There'll be a rider in from Tularosa soon.
Well, that just about settles it. Calls for another drink.
If Billy the Kid's gonna back Garrett's play, I want out. You can count on Garrett sticking with the law, but not Billy. So maybe I better withdraw.
No, not yet.
If I don't, they'll nail us both into a pine box.
Look, Bob, Billy is siding in with Garrett now, but it won't last. Billy always has to have his own way. So when it ends between them, maybe we don't have to worry about Garrett.
Expect me to gamble on that? I can take Garrett apart with my fist, but I can't stand up to him with a gun.
You don't need a gun. You're not yellow. He'll have to play it your way if you jump him now. Garrett said he'd kill me if he loses the election. There's no other way out. So you just make sure you finish the job.
Listen to me, all of you. I got something to say. It looks like I'm elected. I want to make something clear. Sheriff Brady was shot and killed last night. He's a man that used to walk soft and get along with everybody. Till he hired a man who wears a gun like he wears his shirt. I'm talking about Pat Garrett. Things changed after Garrett started shoving Brady around. Garrett made a good thing out of being deputy sheriff. Too good, if you ask me. Orangey, you're a liar. Sure, call me a liar. You know I can't match you with a gun. So go on, hide behind that gun and badge. Call me names. Is that the way you want it, Oranger? Just the way I want it.
Been easier to kill you. So don't anybody touch a gun.
There's your new sheriff. I'm not wearing a badge anymore, Mr. Gorman.
Tell him you withdraw.
Yeah, I withdraw.
Riders in from Tularosa. The whole town voted for Pat Garrett. 110 votes.
110 votes. Pat Garrett is the new sheriff. Congratulations, Pat. You'll make a great sheriff.
All right, boy. Congratulations, Patrick. You might need that thing till I get you a new one.